Oh, I've got my other phone actually. So I'll just wait for some people to come on. Who's messaged me? Oh, Mr. Preference. Because the lights in the way, I can't see the numbers. Oh, shame. You know when you're looking for your phone, and your phone's in front of your face. Don't give me joke. Let me message Anansi to let Anansi know that I will be finishing my live in about an hour. If anyone's there, put a message in the comments. I was just literally talking to my sister and she's just making me laugh because I'm saying to her that I'm coming off the phone. She's not listening to a word that I'm saying. Yeah, because I'm going to have a birth chart reading with my friend. So I'm just going to message him to let him know that I will be available in an hour. Live in an hour. Oh, put lice instead of live. Hey, Fragrant, are you okay? I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for commenting so I know you're there. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to come on, if that's okay, and then we can start. We'll give it like another 3 minutes and then we can start. Hey, Ubri, how are you? I wonder if Star's gonna come on. I need my mod. Where's my mod? Where's Star? Yeah. Hey, Mika from Guadeloupe. Mwah. Thank you guys for being here with me. Oh, have you got your coffee or your glass of wine or your herbal tea? What have you got? Tell me what you've got because we're going to be chilling and having a conversation about progression. Hey, John. Go on, you've got a two. I will give you 2 minutes to grab your coffee or brie or your tea or whatever it is that you want to grab. No, 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 no. Na 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 no na no la 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 la. You got your water. You know I sell alkaline water. I'm relaunching my brand in January. So I'll let you guys know. I'm thinking of doing a option of having gallons so people can buy a gallon of water. However, it might be a bit difficult because, see, what it is with alkaline water is if you put it in plastic bottles, it strips the plastic and contaminates the water. So you have to have glass bottles. So this is where the cost comes in. So I'm just wondering how I'm going to source gallon glass bottles. So yeah, because a few people in my, local to where I am in the UK, thank you. They have asked me to provide gallons. And you got to give the people what they want. In a metal bottle. Hmm. Yeah, but it just depends on it because most people they want to buy water for cheap. I was talking to my mom today and she was saying that I was selling my bottles for that were quite expensive before when I used to have my water brand active before. And I was saying to her that, you know, people will buy alcohol for like £15, a 750 ml, but it's unhealthy. But they'll scream at how at water that's healthy for them. And I'm like, to be fair, I'm not. It's about targeting people that actually appreciate healthy living. That's how I see it personally. It's about providing the right commodities for people who appreciate your product. It's just like saying to Louis Vuitton, don't sell your jumper for £700 because you can get it down. You can get a jumper down the road for £10. Now you can have the £10 jumper if you want, but it's just not Louis Vuitton. So you can have water that is cheap, acidic, poisonous. It's not live. It's not, treated in a way where it's giving you the same nutrients as coming from the spring. But you're just not gonna get. You're gonna have to pay. So she was like, I get that, and she got what I was saying. So yesterday we were talking about yes, I have watched Hunger Games. Why? Give me some context. Why did you mention Hunger Games? Whilst I do their introduction. So my name's Sereena Noor. I'm an author and filmmaker, singer, and a fempreneur and entrepreneur. I can't work for people. They don't like me, and I don't like them. And I don't like getting up in the morning and going somewhere and then finishing work and having to come home. I absolutely hate it. So that's me just being honest and authentic, and me being honest and authentic and putting myself in the right spaces or in the right place. That enabled me to write 4 books, which are on Amazon. I published on Amazon, and my film is on Prime Video for you to watch. It's called Silenced. If you type in Silence, Sereena Noor, you'll see it. I have a documentary on Prime Video, and I've got music videos and stuff. So go and make sure you support me and put a comment. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. I don't mind. If you dislike it, you dislike it. You can put thumbs up or you can put thumbs down. It is what it is. But yeah. And also I have a membership where I'm Bandcamp. If you type in Bandcamp and then go into the search and type Sereena Noor, you'll see the different tiers of my membership. And you get different benefits on there. I won't bore you with that today, but one of the things that you might be interested in is being able to watch the replay of this live and my other lives that I have done. Yesterday, we spoke about preferences in relationships specifically. However, we delved into how we can apply that same strength in regards to opportunities and things that we want to manifest in life. So that was nice. And then my afterthoughts were, how can I continue that conversation in a way that gives you guys actionable knowledge? And that led me to sharing with you one of the 4 powers: uh, integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enrichment. And that is the backbone of what I teach to people who I speak to on a one-to-one level. And also when I do group workshops, like a masterclass, we go through the four powers. So the whole progression formula is referenced to that. It's quite interesting because it's a never ending situation. Some people think that you can just learn something. Hey, Star. I knew you was going to come, I knew it. Some people think that personal development, you can just do one masterclass and then that's the end of it. No. If you're serious about creating your reality, you need to realize that you're taking yourself on a journey that never stops. And there's going to be hard times and there's going to be beautiful times. And hopefully the beautiful times create the contrast. Let me just get Star as a mod before. No, you already a mod, baby. Are you a mod? Tell me if you're a mod because it says remove as a mod. Let me remove you and then add you back again. Yes. Yes. I've just removed you and added you back again. Okay. So, yeah, and it's difficult because sometimes you go off in terms of choosing other things other than yourself. So let me just explain. I'll ask a question actually. What is integrity to you? You type in the oh, thank you, my darling. You're so supportive and I love that. I love that. Thank you for being one of my super fans. And I have a treat for you, but you haven't inboxed me yet on TikTok or in Instagram, and I'm waiting for it. Um, what's integrity to you? What does integrity mean? And I'm going to share a story with you whilst you're thinking about that and whilst you're typing that in the comment box. So in 2012, I was experiencing what you could call an awakening. I had this desperate urge to get out of my life. I didn't want my life to be the way it was. So I say it in that sense, yeah. I didn't want my life to be the way it was at that time. On the outside, I was living in a upper class area around rich folk, footballers, etc. I had a nice car, I had my job, my kids were fine. But I felt like I needed to do better and I wanted to do better. And this was before I actually had my film and my books. So therefore, that should give you an idea of where I was and where I wanted to be at that time in life. I wanted to do more. I wanted to take the stuff that was inside of me and bring it out and be my own vessel for my life energy. And it might sound deep, but if anybody who knows me knows I'm a deep person. I don't do shallow shit. So I started reading lots of books about life, Deepak Shakur, The Alchemist, uh, all kinds of books. I mean, I've got a bookshelf over there and I've got one over there as well. Like, absolutely love books. I started to get into my crystals. I started really homing in my yoga and different things. And there's a story that I'll share with you another time, but that desperateness, that desperation to create change in my life made me, took me on a journey, me and my son, on a journey to Bali. And I went to a retreat called Inner Awakening with a guru, which a guru was hosting, Paramahansa Nityananda. That's his name. And he is what you would call a living avatar. Um, he's very, very famous. You can go on YouTube, type in Paramahansa Nityananda. I'll put it in the description box afterwards. His work is phenomenal. It's Hindu principles, Hindu concept. However, for me, at that point, I wasn't looking for a religion to anchor me. I was looking for myself. I started to get a real big interest in who Sereena was and explore what Sereena was capable of. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll put my email address in the description, stars, and then you can um, email me and we can chat. So we went to Bali and I spent 21 days there. I had a full Jain diet, which means no living organisms. Um, we had to wear white every day. I mean, I saw the quirkiest of people. People were talking to plants, all kinds of stuff. It was very spiritual, very deep. We had our chakras aligned. So there were specific days that we would do meditations on my daughter in order to realign our chakras to our birth charts. And we done a lot of workshops looking at how, which actually gave us deep insight into who we were and anchor ourselves to ourselves. And it sounds complex and it's difficult hi Alec, it's difficult for me to kind of describe. However, and I met some phenomenal people. Um, I the guru gifted me a workshop to take back to the UK with me so that I could teach other people. And that was the beginning of my journey of being a vessel for people to go on that journey themselves. Yes, children were allowed to go to inner awakening. My son was 9 at the time. Yeah, my son was 9. So he was in the children's section. And he got a lot of learning as well. And what inspired that trip, to be honest, was my son suffers from chronic asthma. Hey, Coco, love to India. And I was just desperate to find a solution to his asthma as well. So as well as being desperate to expand myself and understand myself and see myself, I was also desperate to find a way to heal my son. So that was another way. And then I realized that my son has emotion induced asthma. So if he gets overwhelmed or overstimulated and things like that, so I had to teach him how to regulate his nervous system for himself, which is another interesting story. Yes, I can tell you. What thing do you want to know? So, integrity. Somebody says that integrity doesn't exist anymore. Now, if we think about integrity on a global scale, on a united scale, I can see what you mean. However, I always say to people that healing starts with you as an individual. If we as individuals sort ourselves out and become conscious about who we are and who we want to be, then that's where it starts. Yeah, that's where it starts. So if you've got a room of 10 people and only one of those people are on a specific journey, then obviously it's going to feel as though there's no integrity. But if everybody goes on that journey, you're going to start to feel as though, okay, we're coming together now. It's going to show, that 10 people in this room have high integrity. So therefore, there's integrity. And if you put that method on a world scale, then you'll understand what I mean. So for me here today, I'm supporting you to go on that journey for yourself. Don't wait for other people to do it because you're going to become one of the plus people who are in alignment with how humanity is supposed to be, you know? So integrity is basically honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. Yeah? Integrity is a personal, we're talking about it in a personal way. So you going on a personal journey to explore what pieces of yourself are missing. What pieces of yourself are missing? Where have you not honored the words and thoughts that you give to yourself? So this is not about you looking outside on what other people are doing. It's about you bringing that aspect back in. So it's about zooming in on self, not zooming out on the rest of the world. Integrity, when it's applied to self, is you, sorry, I'm just reading something. Yeah, when it's applied to self, will raise your confidence and raise your self-esteem. It will create opportunity and bring results. So, for example, if you have tasks that are incomplete, you will feel incomplete within yourself. And it's about completing those incompletions so that you can enjoy your life experience and be who you believe yourself to be. Yes, it's absolutely fine if you're a kid. Yeah. And then you'll start to see things shift around you. You'll start to see that you will then be vibrating the the energy that you need. You'll be sending out the signals to the universe so that you can attract what it is and what you desire. So think about it. If you've got words and thoughts that you've given to yourself, yourself and others that you have not completed and have not honored, that means you're going to have a lot of people who don't trust you because you're not a person of your word. That also means that you are not going to trust yourself. And it's okay to admit that. In the grand scheme of what I'm saying is, one has to become okay with admitting that they don't trust themselves, to then treat those incompletions, to bring those incompletions to completion. So again, think about it. Just think about small things that are just probably happening around you at the moment. I'm going to spring clean my room. I'm going to get the wing mirror fixed on my car. I'm going to read that book. I'm going to watch that movie. We'll simplify it. Yeah, and we'll get a bit deeper as we're going on. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to phone that friend. Yeah, I'm going to sew up that hole in my jumper. What happens is you then have all these things in your mind and in your space that are clouding your thoughts, the clouding your ability to execute more of the big stuff. Hey, you okay, Nana? Yeah. Now, once you complete those things, you'll start to see that it's emptying. So if you think of yourself as a post box, And the reason why I say post box is because the postman's going to come and deliver those things that you're putting in the post box to wherever it needs to go. Yeah. So the post box is you though. So you've put in the post box, I need to sew the jumper, I need to tidy the cupboard, I need to wash my hair, I need to phone that friend. And then what's happening? The post box is getting fuller and fuller and fuller. But guess what? You're the postman or woman as well. So what you're doing is waiting for your post box to become full before you empty it. What are you doing? You're also slowing down time. I'm teaching you guys how to even control time. If you've got a full post box, the postman is going to be there for ages, emptying the post box to then go away and deliver. That's wasting time. But if you are comfortable with honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it, you're not going to be at the post box picking letters up from the floor and packing it all in and rushing around and getting anxious and overwhelmed because you've got so much to do. That's why sometimes people will look at me and say, Serena, how come you're so chill? And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. However, I'm not as overstimulated as most people because I respect the power that comes with, and I understand, I've witnessed the power that comes with honoring the words and thoughts that I give to myself and others as though my life depends on it. I understand the power of integrity, personal integrity, to be exact. Yeah? And now think about the times when you have honored the words and thoughts that you've given to yourself and others. What happens? Once you've made that call and checked in on that friend, for example, or you have cleaned that cupboard, what do you feel? You exhale. You go, oh, yeah, I've done it. And then what do you tell yourself? Do you know what? That felt so good. I got so much dopamine from that. I got so much relief from that. I'm actually going to keep that space tidy so that I don't have to get to that point where I feel overwhelmed again. It's about avoiding giving yourself that anxiety. And you also get confidence because you develop a level of confidence within yourself that lets you know that I can do that. And the more you do things, the more you honor the words and thoughts that you give to yourself as others and others as though your life depends on it, is the more confidence you get within yourself and the more you what? The more you trust yourself. The more you can make decisions for yourself without needing somebody else to lean on. Don't get me wrong, that's not wrong. That's not wrong because sometimes you do have to flesh it out with a friend. You do have to flash it out with your mom. You do have to flash it out with people. You do have to flesh it out. I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that the more confidence you build in yourself is the more you're able to trust yourself and you're able to say, "Do you know what, I trust myself to make this decision because you have a track record of completion. You have a track record of how it feels to remain in a space of completion. You don't want that mess inside of you. You don't want all those tasks filled up inside of you till you get overwhelmed. You don't want it because you know how it feels to just be free of it. And I'll tell you what happened to me initially was that the more I was in a space of completion, is the more people tried to fill it with their tasks and wanted me to help and support them. So this is where, when the rest of the powers go on, you start to, I teach you how to create, how to help others as well. Because guess what happens? You not only trust yourself, people start to trust you because they see you're a person who completes things. They see you a person who's organized. They see you a person as a person who's organized within yourself. And that can be overwhelming. What did you say, my sweet? I also feel like when you leave those tasks for too long, eventually you still have to come back. Exactly. You do. You can, because what happens is things will come up in your inner space and it will say, we've got to do this and we've got to do that. We've got to tidy the bookshelf. I'm just keeping it simple for now. You know, we've got to empty the cupboard. We've got to clean the oven. And then life will give you other tasks. People will give you other tasks. Things will happen which will make you not put you first. Because them needing you is more important than you sorting out your bookshelf. No, it's not. You know, no. So unless you're going to come and help me sort out my bookshelf, then you're going to have to wait till I sort out my bookshelf. But I'm coming and I'm going to communicate with you and let you know, because I don't want you to be in a space of incompletion. Or I will say no, because I don't want that on my list of things to do, because I've got enough integrity to complete. I needed to clean the tiles in my bathroom um, the other day. I left it for about 3 days and I could feel it in me. My brain was just talking to me about cleaning the tiles, like spring cleaning the bathroom. And I could feel it in me. And I was like, I got to go and clean the bathroom because I'm getting overwhelmed. And somebody asked me to do something for them. And I said, no, I've got to clean the bathroom. And they were like, it's urgent. And I was like, well, I've got to clean the bathroom and I can help you to find a solution to your problem whilst I'm cleaning the bathroom. So you're going to have to wait. Because otherwise, that's going to be in me. And I don't want it in me. And the reason why they're saying that their thing's important is because they're full of unresolved incompletions. They're full of lack of integrity, for want of a better term. And in hindsight, it actually was something that they could have done themselves. But because they were so overwhelmed, they wanted to pull me into their thing. They wanted me to help them regulate themselves. You become dysregulated when you lack integrity. It's not actually even a joke. I actually take my children and I say to them, sit down, we're writing integrity lists, get your shit done. Because I can see how it happens to them. They get overwhelmed. They've got to do this, they've got to do homework, they've got to do this, they've got to. And I'm just like, well, you need to write it down. You could even do that now. Write down a list of 10 things that you said you're going to do for yourself and others that you haven't done. And it's such a freaking profound activity, especially when I do a one-to-one, because then I'm able to go into it real deep and look at what narratives and what stories you're telling yourself to justify being out of integrity with those tasks, and you'll be so surprised. You'll be so surprised. So, for example, hey, you'd be so surprised. I remember a client sharing with me that her house is messy, and sometimes she tidies it, sometimes she doesn't, and it actually pisses her off that she's, not very tidy. She's not dirty, she's just not very tidy. So she had it on her list of things to do. And it was a group workshop actually in one of my master classes that I do on Zoom. And I said to her, well, why are you lacking in integrity in terms of, not tidying your yard? Because I keep it real. I don't talk like, we keep it real. Yeah, because sometimes we need to just be spoken to. And she was like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. So I done a little guided meditation with her so she could just calm her nervous system. And I said, what is coming to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? No matter how stupid it sounds, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? And she said, I don't want to do it because when I was younger, my mum used to make me clean up all the time. Oh, so that's the incompletion. That's the wound. That's where the trauma is. You see? Why is it that you haven't opened that shop? Let's get bigger with it. Why are you out of integrity? Why have you not written that book? Why have you not bought that car? The money's all sitting down there. It's not like you're lacking. You haven't bought the car because somewhere, somebody or something, an experience has told you that you're being extra. So just sit down and think about that, because you're not honoring the words and thoughts that you're giving to yourself. You're buying into the narrative that you're being extra. You haven't written that book because it's not a priority right about now. You need to concentrate on creating a stable income. Because society or someone, somewhere, or something down the line has made you believe that you should put everything else before your integrity that comes up in the list that you say it should come up in the order that it says you should say it should come up in. Because it's you. You're telling you that your integrity is important. You tell you what's important. Life doesn't tell you that. You tell you that. It's not about being selfish, because actually people think I'm quite available. And it's because I've been able to master what's important. And I've been able to create a balance between when I give myself energy and when I give other people energy. I remember saying to someone the other day, they were like, oh, what's happening for the next couple of weeks? I was like, I can do what I like. So just tell me, and I have my freedom. I do what I like. I try not to put myself in positions where I'm contained by something other than what I say I should be doing, because that's where my happiness is. How can I be happy if I have no confidence? How can I be happy if I have no self-esteem? How can I be happy if I'm constantly overwhelmed by balancing me and what life expects of me without no formula, without no reference, without no backbone? This isn't about religion. This isn't about praying. This isn't about anything. This is about you. This is about you understanding you and who you are. My brain would just tell me to go for a coffee with a friend or go to the nail shop. Like, it's that shallow. But it makes me feel good with a friend and treat her, or just go anyway. We pay for ourselves. But just things like that. That's I hold those things in high regard. Because if I don't do it, I'll be sitting there going, oh, I was thinking to do this and I was thinking to do that, and then I didn't do it. And oh, I was going to phone you as well. And no, 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 no. No, bitch, I'm phoning you. Hello. No, I want that. I'm getting it. I've got to do that. I'm doing it. It's so attractive. It's so in alignment with the universe. That's the communication. That is the communication. You increase your life energy when you maintain your integrity. You're tired, you're depressed and overwhelmed because you lack integrity. People don't trust you because you don't do what you say you're going to do. You don't honor the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. Do you understand? So you've written down your 10 things that you, words and thoughts that you've given to yourself and others that you haven't honored. Write them down. And now just look at them. And I've given you some simple examples like sorting out the cupboard, sorting out the bookshelf. I've given you some drastic examples like purchasing the car, writing the book, opening the shop, or at least stepping into seeing whether those things are realistic or not. Because that's how you tell the universe what you want. That's how life's algorithm presents itself to you, by you putting yourself in the spaces and places that you need to tell the universe what you want. I gave a beautiful example yesterday when I was talking about social media and how it's replicated manifestation. When you type in comedy all the time and you're always watching comedy reels, have you noticed that comedy reels just start coming up? You don't even have to type it in now. It's the same thing with the universe. If you walk in whatever it is that you want to achieve, the universe will just send it to you automatically. You'll have an abundance of choice. Next thing you know, you've got some miracle car that you're supposed to pay for 10 grand that you've got it for 20 grand, you've got it for 10. I'm just giving an example. Or someone just comes and gives you something and you're like, whoa. Because you're now manipulating and controlling your life's algorithm. The less stressed you are, the less you're creating oxidative stress. So therefore, you are now in a position of life's preservation. You're now preserving your life energy. You're manipulating time and preserving your cells. The less serotonin you are expressing, he died on the cross for us. And that's interesting, you don't need anybody to die for you. You don't need anybody to sacrifice themselves for you. What you need to sacrifice is the narratives that you're telling yourself as to why you can't do what you need to do for yourself and others, as though your life depends on it, because the only person you're going to be sacrificing is yourself. So therefore, who's Christ in this instance? Christ would be you. So you are then what, sacrificing yourself for your incompletions because you just want to not honor the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. So now you're Jesus. Okay. You can't make this shit up. I don't think it's a case of believing in Christ. I just don't think that this is a space for, using God as a reference point. You can believe in Christ all you want to. That's nothing to do with the situation. If Christ didn't honor his words and thoughts as though his life depends on it, would you be here today? That's the question. And if you are born in a likeness of God or Christ, then you should be behaving in that way. And apparently, Jesus was a man of high integrity. So you can even relate it back to the Bible. It doesn't really matter whichever way you want to see it. If Jesus was not of high integrity and tell the truth to the Romans about how horrible they were being to the people and fight against that, then where would you be today? So this isn't about, convincing people whether you believe in Jesus or not. It's very mediocre, very shallow, very it's actually downplaying the whole point of the stories. The point is, it's about you. What I'm doing here today is making you look at yourself. Where are you personally not walking in your Christ-like energy? Where you're not honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others. If you're going to give that to somebody else, then you're just being lazy. You've got to take that for yourself. That's your gift from whatever God you want to worship or whatever God you want to believe in, if you don't like the word worship. Honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others is the best gift that you can give to yourself in the context that I've just explained. I want you to go away today and complete your list. And I want you to come back and tell me about the list. And for those who have my number, for those who have my email address, for those who have my inbox on Instagram and TikTok or Facebook or whatever, I want you to message me and tell me how it's going. My members would do that anyway because they join the masterclasses. I was so honored to receive this knowledge from the guru, who is actually it's from a Hindu concept. So therefore, if I was fixated on, a religion, so to speak, I would have missed that opportunity. It's not a religious situation. When I embodied the concept of honoring the words and thoughts that I give to myself and others as though my life depends on it, that's how I wrote 4 books, and I have another one. And it took me 12 weeks to write. It's there just waiting for me to format it and publish it. Because of the fact that I honored the words and thoughts that I gave to myself, like my life depended on it. That's how I do it. It takes people years to write books and things like that. It doesn't take me that long because I fully give it to myself. And if I'm honest, other people don't even notice that I'm doing them things. Imagine, I don't even have to say, oh, I'm not talking to you because I'm writing my book. They don't even know unless I say it. That's how gangster it is. Because I listen to myself. I listen to myself. I listen to the messages that comes through me. I do not want my post box to be overfull because of what? If my post box is overfull, my body will become overwhelmed. And therefore, I will be feeling anxious, tired, stressed, and pulled. I will feel like life's pulling me. If I didn't honor the words and thoughts that I give to myself and others, like my life depended on it, I wouldn't have produced my documentary. And things are going to happen and people are going to expect you to consider them. I remember when I done my documentary and I published it, and someone reported me to say that I hadn't got permission to put them in the documentary. Luckily, I had my signatures and stuff where they had to sign the consent forms because they wanted me to be out of integrity. They wanted to prove Me wrong. My documentary is called Silenced. It's on Amazon, um, on Prime Video, and it's looking at the reasons why Black women don't seek justice for crimes committed against them. Very, very important project. Very important. Very important. Imagine if I just sat there saying, "Oh yeah, one day I'm going to do a documentary." Da, 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 da. Do you know how many people message me about my work and say that I've saved their lives and they were feeling like unaliving themselves? Like, that's how drastic it gets. So I have to do what I have to do. And I want you to know today that you are special, you are chosen, you are supposed to do what you do, you are saving lives. And this is why it's important. You're saving lives by people seeing that it can happen for them when they're ready. You're saving just the fact that you trust yourself. Do you know what? This woman is a woman who, honors her words and thought. She tidies the bookshelf. She does what she's supposed to do. She makes those calls. If people can see that living example, it's powerful in itself. You may not see it yourself, and you might think it's not that major, but people need to see that. Even our children need to see that we are people who honor the words and thoughts that we give to ourselves and others, like we like our life depends on it. Because then they will pick up that habit. Imagine being young, like a little kid, and you've your parents have instilled that in you to say, do you know what? Here's the education of integrity, personal integrity, honor the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. And you teach them how to do that. You teach them how to listen to their inner self. You teach them how to regulate their own nervous system. I'm fine, thank you, Tashiyama. I can't even pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe you could spell it out and then I can pronounce it. I'm absolutely fine, thank you. So, yeah. And some things take time, you know. You can't always just pick up yourself and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, because you might not have the money. So then the money might be a thing where you need to focus on that in order to honor whatever it is that you need to do. And that might take you to places that you never knew you could go. That might make you have a money mindset that you never knew you could achieve. That might raise your esteem in terms of your finances. And also, don't judge yourself in terms of, when things don't work out. You could actually decide that actually I don't want to do that. Going on the journey to do something may show you that you don't want to do it. It's not always about doing it. Sometimes it's about realizing that you actually don't want to do something. That's happened to me many of times. For example, you might want to do a course, and then it comes up in your integrity to say, I want to do this course, da 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 da. It makes sense, da 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 da. Hey, Stitch, you always come on late. You may, yeah, because the thing is, Nathaniel, you're a Jesuite, and that's why you don't trigger me. You've actually been indoctrinated and programmed to go around and gurgitate specific things to intimidate people to believe and live their life in the way you live your life, and that's an incompletion. You're out of integrity. You're out of integrity because you're in a space where you don't believe in. You're out of integrity. I'm teaching people something. I'm passing on the knowledge. People are choosing whether they want to program themselves with that or not. You are of a dictatorship. And that's why Christianity doesn't work. Because you're intimidating people. It's not empowering. It's not raising their self-esteem. It's not raising their confidence. You're just inserting yourself in a space where you're not wanted and not needed. You're not what you're saying is not needed here. And that's why when the Jesuits went to Japan, they poisoned them and they had to leave. So it doesn't make any sense. What is going to improve in people's lives based on what you're saying? What is it that you're actually saying? You're just saying things. You should spread the gospel, not words of how humans are better. So humans shouldn't be better. We shouldn't reduce crime. We shouldn't reduce violence against women and girls, women and children. What are you talking about? So you're not going to distract me. I'm just giving you my time because I'm trying to support you to focus and anchor yourself to your own integrity. Who are you as a person? Your biblical scriptures have nothing to do with your integrity. Because there's so many people who believe in these things and they're awful and they're horrible people. Absolutely awful. Integrity is honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. And like I said, if you are able to take on this, it shows that you are not colonized, you are not programmed to serve external sources outside of yourself. You don't look for personal validation and constantly try to reference your reference yourself based on other people's opinions. You go on a exploration into yourself. That's a different thing to religion, as I said from the beginning. The post box. You are the post box and the postman or woman in terms of your personal integrity. Yeah. Things will come up within you, thoughts and feelings that you have to acknowledge. Otherwise, you will become overwhelmed. I'm showing you how to regulate your own nervous system. I'm showing you how to become confident within yourself so you become untouchable. I'm showing you how to realize and actualize your self image, your true self, so you can see who you are and stand firm within that. I'm showing you how to trust yourself. Again, think about those moments when you have thought about something that you want to do and you've done it, and then how you felt at the back of that. How have you just check in for a moment? Check in with yourself about the times in your life where you have done something and the sense of relief that you've got from that, the youth that you felt, the confidence and the trust that you've had in yourself. That is a space of completion. that is where you need to aim to stay. And don't let nobody take you out of it. Nobody. And anybody who says they love you and care about you should want that for you. And that should be your preference because that's your peace. We don't get to a certain age and then we're like, oh, yeah. Because what people do is make you believe there's different stages. Oh my God. You see, when you get older, people will make you believe that because you're older, you're supposed to behave in a more pleasing others way and call it humanitarian and maturity. No, I'm not saying have tantrums. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't mature and get older to then become subservient to other people. That's not how it works. And I'm only allowed to have high integrity and self trust and confidence in my youth. Fuck that. And if they don't trust you, that's okay. You just don't go around them because they don't trust you. It's okay when you trust me. Yeah, I'll come around you. And you don't trust me. Okay, don't talk to me. That's it. Talk to you later, tomorrow, whenever. It's fine. Your incompletions are not my incompletions. Why is it that you don't trust me? Go and check it out. You're out of integrity. You have an incompletion that you need to go and sit down and realize is a story that you're telling yourself and a narrative that you're telling yourself that is making you be weary of me when I'm a person who trusts myself. So if I trust myself, then other people should trust me. So what's going on for you? I can work through it with you, but you're not going to come and talk down my confidence and talk down my self-esteem because you want to project your lack of trust for yourself onto me. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. How it works is I trust myself. I'm an example of somebody who trusts themselves. So therefore, that's what should be coming up for you. I can ask you, why don't you trust me? Oh, because you said that you're going to do something for me and you didn't do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about that. The reason why I didn't do it is because blah, blah, blah. And the reason why I didn't do it is because I'm not going to do it. That's a big one. You've got to focus on being able to say no as well. Your inner space will say to you, no. You will post in the post box that no, I'm not going to do that for myself and I'm not going to do that for others. You understand what I'm saying, yeah? I am not going to do that for myself or I am not going to do that for others. It's okay. You don't have to over explain it. You don't have, because you've already checked yourself. You've already realized that, right, I said I'm going to do this and I've decided that I'm not going to do it because da 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 da. No, because now I'm going to be out of integrity with myself. You've got to bring it to completion. Yes, I did say I was going to do it, but I'm not going to do it no more. Thank you very much for being here, Nathaniel. Because I'm grateful for Nathaniel bringing that energy into this space because it helped us to look at the conversation from a different aspect so that we can have understanding. It helped us to realize that our religion is separate to our personal integrity. The integrity that our religions expect us to have is completely different to our personal integrity. That's just the community, the religion. That's just the community that you belong to. It's not you as an individual person. You have to go on a journey to realize who you are, that self actualization, so that you can blossom into who you're supposed to be, and therefore surround yourself with the external factors that represent who you are as a person. You know, why is it that when I'm around that person, I become dysregulated? Because I may have experienced something in the past, then I can reapproach that person and I can say, do you know what? It's not really about them, let me try and look at that person in a different from a different lens, or that person is that way. So therefore, I will not be around them. Again, we spoke about this yesterday, responding and not reacting. And nobody's perfect. I will punch you in the face. But most of the time, it's a response. I've actually thought about that. That's the right thing to do in that moment. Because boundaries are boundaries. And anybody can dispute what I'm saying. Anybody can dislike what I'm saying, but I am me. And that's my integrity. And most of the time, people will find you intimidating, because I've been exploring this thing where people say, people are intimidating. I always say, well, what is it that you find intimidating about that person? I just like to ask the question just so I can explore. I love exploring human behavior and the kind of shit that they come out with. Oh, you find it intimidating that that person trusts themselves. You find it intimidating that person has confidence. You find it intimidating that that person has high self-esteem. You find it intimidating that that person respects themselves, because they're mirroring what you lack. They're mirroring the fact that you can't find any holes to penetrate a vulnerability. You can't get this shit twisted. You cannot get this shit twisted. This is a powerful formula. Integrity, honoring the words and thoughts that I give to myself and others as though my life depends on it. Because your life does depend on it. You are here to be an example. You are here to transfer energy. You are here to have an experience for a reason that you may not even be able to comprehend. How's about that then? How's about you're doing God's work by honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it? Imagine if advocates don't campaign. Imagine if policies don't get changed. This is where, because your integrity list is about cleaning the cupboard, you think it's less important than those who are advocates, for example, and run large campaigns. How do you know it's not even going to take you there? Because once you start to build your confidence in those types of things, you start to realize, actually, I can do more. Did that come to my head? Oh my gosh, that means I can do it. Whatever comes to you, whatever comes up in your space, you can do, because it came up in your space. Do you think I thought I could write 4 books? I didn't even know I could write one. Do you think I thought that I could do a movie and put it on Prime Video? I didn't know that. When I had the thought, I didn't know I could do it. But when I did it, I knew I could do it. I didn't know I could do that. And as much as people wanted to tell me that I can't do it, I still did it, didn't I? Without funding. I did it with my own money. I don't mind funding, I don't mind help, but I did it with my own money. I did it with my own personality. I created and cultivated the right relationships in order to collect the resources that I needed to achieve what I needed to achieve. You can't chat to me because if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I have to honor the words and thoughts that I give to myself and others. Like my life depends on it. People needed to know why Black women don't seek justice for crimes committed against them. People needed to know the story of men and their spiritual awakening in my book, Unorthodox Masculinity, what that journey looks like for men. People needed to know that. I needed to write that book. People needed to know how to help or need to know how to help families and practitioners help people with mental health crises. People need to know that. People need to know how to live a soft life as an independent woman. People need to know those things. So whether it's important to individuals or not, that's another story, but it's important. And there's some people out there that will need to know what you've got to say and what you've got to do and the hair that you've got to do. They need to know that you're there for them, to understand their hair journey. It's an important job. People need to know. People need to have that experience of, you know, having advice from a nurse outside of the hospital or the surgery, the doctor's surgery. They need to know. They need to have access to that. You're important. Don't mediocre down your thing. Your children need to see that you start tasks and finish them. It's a very important thing. It's as important as making a movie. It's as important as writing a book. Not everything's glamour, glitz and glamour. Your everyday walk, the way you move in life on an everyday basis is important because you are important. People need to know how to do makeup because it makes them feel better and regulates their nervous system. People need to know. People need to see examples of that. You know, who are you? Who are you outside of what the world requires of you? What's your integrity? Who are you to yourself? Do you rate yourself or do you not rate yourself? Do you understand your struggle? Do you understand your woes? Do the people around you understand your struggle and your woes? Are you able to articulate it? You know, this isn't even about being strict or anything. It's about being freaking real. You are doing it. You aren't doing it. How are you going to know? How are you going to know if you don't do it? It's all right having the feeling and the chemistry towards something or somebody, but the real love comes from what? Actioning. Got to sit there with the feelings. You've got to action. You've got to act on it. That's love. That's self-love. That's love for others. Action in it. Oh, I just felt like I was going to call you. I just felt like I was going to invite you for dinner. I just felt like I was going to make a movie. I just felt like I was going to buy a new car. And it's not it. You have to act on that in order to make it real and bring it out into your reality. Toxicity of life is born through stress. It's born through lacking integrity. It's almost like you're love bombing yourself. You just love bombed yourself and then gaslit yourself into thinking that it's not, you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So you're just like a narcissist to yourself. Imagine that. Forget them. Are you knocking yourself by lacking integrity? Are you knocking yourself by not honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others like your life depends on it? You know, that journey has led me to speak for the BBC in London. It's led me to, be paid as a motivational speaker. I never imagined those things for myself, but me coming back from Bali and then teaching people the four powers made people trust me. It made them see me as somebody that they can trust, who has the confidence and esteem to transfer information. You need that for yourself. The opportunities that are going to come with that. You just the hairdresser. You need to be the teacher as well. So keep doing your thing. You don't know what opportunities can come out of that. You could win awards, all kinds of stuff could happen. Then you are now the role model within your circle, even. Fuck the world for that. You've now allowed somebody within your circle to say, do you know that she did that and this is how she become? Just from conversation. That person may never even meet you, but because their auntie knows somebody who would you've now inspired that young person to go on their journey because that person had your actions in their mouth. That person had the chemistry that was in you, the passion that was in you. You expressed it through love of self, and that now becomes a catalyst. Becomes a sound like my grandma becomes. You that becomes a catalyst for others because now you're an exemplar for greatness. Nobody's greatness is better than your greatness, and your greatness ain't better than nobody's greatness. We're all here as individuals, and that's where humbleness comes in. Who are we to talk down anyone's achievements? One thing people don't know about me, I got an award from Birmingham City Council for Mother of the Year award alongside Beverly Knight's mother. But at one point, I thought I was a bad mom because that's what I was trained to think. Imagine that. But because I executed what I was supposed to execute, the universe said otherwise. Family members convincing me that something's wrong. Why? Because I'm not pleasing them. I'm not doing what they want me to do. I'm not presenting my persona in a way that gets validation from them. My validation comes from that moment, that I did it. That's where my validation comes from. And luckily I've been able to cultivate relationships with people who I can have those moments with because they're fucking beautiful and I can get that validation from them. And then that's another journey because you have to maintain your integrity. You have to say, is that true to me? Do these people allow me to trust myself? Are these people wearing away at my confidence or not? Those are all thoughts. I need to stop talking to that person. That's a thought that you need to honor. That's a word that you need to honor. That's something that got posted in the post box. Integrity is honoring the words and thoughts that you give to yourself and others as though your life depends on it. When you finish that list, you write another one. And you write another one. It takes 21 days to program something within your psyche. 21 days, short-term memory, short-term memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, automatic subconscious. It's now embedded in your subconscious. Learn how to train yourself. Learn how to input data within yourself and take out data that you don't need. You can, we're just like computers. You have that power. You are the manager of yourself. You are the CEO of yourself. You're a beautiful person. That's not even in question. So if anybody wants to bring that in the situation, you can just do one, because that's not it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being even more amazing than you are, because you deserve it and you can be that. Age don't question that. Qualification don't question that. All these things, whether you're a woman or a man, doesn't question that. Your past doesn't determine that. Your trauma doesn't determine that. What determines that is you waking up today and saying, you know what, I'm going to give it to myself. I'm going to anchor into my integrity and understand what it is. I want to understand what my personal integrity is so that I can self-actualize and I can be me for me, so that other people can enjoy me. My kids can enjoy me. They can see that I'm happy. They can see what it looks like when I get dressed and go out. They can see what it looks like when I come back happy. They can see what it looks like when I'm laughing and joking and sharing memories and experiences that I've had personally outside of them. My joy is not, doesn't need to be taken away because I'm supposed to be giving it all to my kids, for example, or to my partner. I've got to have my own thing going on. In love and light. So, just to wrap up, if there's any questions that anybody wants to ask, or, anything that's not clear, please do feel free to comment. And thank you so much for sharing this energy with me today. It's nice. And I can see that a lot of light bulb moments has happened for many of you. And I'm so pleased about that. And I hope that the energy that I've transferred today has given you, the empowerment that you need. So yeah, on that note, I love you all so much. And I'm receiving the love back from you, because I know that you guys are blowing kisses to the camera now and I can't see you, but I know I can feel it. And I know you love me and I love you. I love you too, and big hugs. And we'll be back the same time tomorrow. I don't know what the hell we're going to be talking about. I've just winged it. Every day I've just winged it. The first day we were talking about toxic aunts and older women, bullying women who are younger than them. Not necessarily younger, but just people who are younger than them, because they didn't become the person that they should have become. Thank you, Nana. Yesterday, yes, 21 days, Mama. And, you can look that up, read into that 21 days concept. You might find a book or something that really gets you to home in on what that means, and what that will mean for you moving forward. And yeah, yesterday we spoke about preference. Well, we spoke about preference in men, but we brought it back to self, um, and we realized that it's about, our preference is just peace. So whether it's regarding the opportunity, a job, whatever it is, our preference is peace. And then today we've talked about integrity, honoring the words and thoughts that we give to ourselves and others as though our life depends on it. and understanding that we cannot allow clutter to remain within us because it will keep us gravitated and we want to fly. Good night, guys.